everyone, welcome back to the Community Touch podcast. I'm your host Tiana and I'm here with one of my besties today as my guest. This is Tanya and I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Tanya. I work in TV production. I also do photography, videography, and I'm a travel agent.
Like that, all of that, yeah. No, honestly, Tanya, I met her through one of our best friends as well. So I'm so happy that she brought us together. And Tanya was doing some photography and videography for me. And since then, we just literally become like two peas in a pod, honestly. Click, clack.
Locked in.
Yeah. But yeah, so today I wanted to just go into a bit about your story. Oops. Okay. And yeah, let's start with how you're in the creative industry. Like, how did you get into there? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, so I've been in the creative industry since I was 16 years old. Yeah. I started off with going to the BFI Film Academy.
What's BFI for those who don't know?
BFI Film Academy is the British Film Institute, and they basically have this program for 16 to 25-year-olds which helps you break into film.
Okay.
So it's a really kind of like rigorous process. The application process I think lasts like 3 months.
What?
You have to do some interviews, you've got to make a formal application. And then you either make it or you don't. But
this sounds like a whole lot, chill.
Honestly, there was a whole lot of writing, and I had my GCSEs.
Oh shit, we're throwing it back to GCSEs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I managed to get onto the program during GCSE time. So it was about balancing the GCSEs and also doing this like full-time program at the weekends. So all my weekends were spoken for.
Yeah.
But it was just such an amazing insight into the film world and directors and producers, cinematography, just a great kind of holistic intake into the industry and just how complicated but amazing it is.
Yeah.
That there's so many different parts of the industry.
That's crazy. So do you feel like with that, what do you call it, like a course or?
Yeah, so I would call it like a training course because you get an accreditation at the end. So you get like a screen skills thing.
Yeah.
Which basically is officially official that you've done the course and you also prep to kind of work in the industry for like entry-level jobs and beyond.
Okay, and do you feel like you built any connections from there? So did you network whilst you were there, and do you think that helped you elevate your career?
Definitely, and the BFI, like, shout out you, but they really do keep you in their books once you finish the course.
Okay.
So for me, afterwards, they'll invite you along to screenings. Like, I met Spike Lee, which is amazing. If y'all that don't know, obviously, Spike Lee's a visionary. But they keep you in the loop with loads of events, and you can choose whether you want to go to them or not. You can keep in contact with the tutors. You're meeting so many different producers, directors, cinematographers, but also the people on the course become your friends for life. So some of them, obviously you don't keep in contact with, but there are others that I still keep in contact with, and it's been really nice to see the different pathways that we've all taken.
Oh, that must be so lovely. I feel like things like that is so important because sometimes it's so hard to break into industries.
It is.
And once you have that one course or that one event that you might go to, that can literally open the doors for you. So would you recommend it for other people that want to get into media?
Definitely. I mean, for anyone that wants to break into TV and film, like the BFI course, it is for 16 to 25-year-olds, but if you know someone else that's in that bracket that also really wants to get a holistic overview into the industry, definitely lead them into the way of the BFI. There are so many good free programs now that are helping young people strengthen their skills and build up a network. So that is just one of them. I'm sure I'll think of many more during the video, which I'll shout out. But yeah, that's the one that really got me into my passion for film.
I love that for you. But we all know that some jobs, they've got like this lingering thing. And the lingering thing is money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got some jobs like finance, they pay a lot of money.
Yes.
Obviously when you're like a really, really qualified doctor, you're a surgeon, you're getting loads of money. There's some jobs that just do not have a lot of money like in the service.
It's true.
Or it may just be that they have money in the service, but they don't have money for entry level people.
No.
So do you feel like media is a sustainable job in living like in London or in and around London?
I think it's like any kind of job. When you're first starting out, you are starting at the bottom of the chain.
Yeah.
But in the TV media space, that is a really clear route that people have kind of been using time memoriam, like from the 1910s up until like the 1950s.
So it's an ancient model.
This is an ancient model where like they, you know, you kind of start on the runner level.
Yeah.
You might do a few jobs for free before you get your first paid job. But me personally, I think there are so many other ways to break into this industry. Like, you don't necessarily have to start down the runner route. You will probably have to do a few like free gigs, but then you should be getting paid for your services, because that is what you're providing. It's a service. And at the end of the day, if you're working, you gotta get paid.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. So it's great to obviously have an amazing work ethic and put yourself forward for different roles, but also remember to get paid for the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
So I will say that working in media, you do start at a significantly lower wage.
Is it really bad?
It's just, I mean, it's the nature of this industry, I will say. We're going through a period of time now, especially post-strike, there's actor strike, writer strike, where it's trying to bounce back. So a lot of funding has gone under the carpet, and it's still taken a while to kind of move forward from COVID times.
Yeah.
So a lot of people did face job losses, and even in a freelance capacity now, people aren't matching to any jobs. There's so many people that are free to work, but there's like no jobs for them.
I feel like that's the job market right now. I just feel like it's so oversaturated.
It
As
is.
in, like, there's so many candidates applying for one single job. So it's crazy.
It's a really scary space to be in at the moment, because there's such a high level of uncertainty.
Yeah.
But I will say, in terms of financials, the media rate does start significantly lower. So for instance, if you were a PA in the media world against being a PA in the corporate sector, there is a huge kind of discrepancy in the pricing. And in the corporate world, you will have that increment every year, but in media, you might be prepared to stay on the same.
Has that been like your experience?
That's been my personal experience, where you start in these entry-level jobs, and because of all the cuts in the industry at the moment, there's just not that financial support for you to be able to bounce up to the next level.
Yeah. So it sounds like currently, maybe with the current situation, the security is not there, the money is not there.
Yeah.
And like, how does that make you feel? Like, are you still inclined to carry on in the industry, or are you like open to maybe other industries just to get your money up?
Yeah, so like for me personally, I've always known that I wanted to go down a creative route. What that looks like, I can tell you.
We can both tell you, ain't no money in damn creation.
There's no money in creation
until you blow. Like, until you either blow or you get to the level of where they're paying high income. Ain't no money in it. So you really got to be passionate. If you see someone chasing their creative dream, they're passionate about that.
And clip.
Yeah.
Because they say, obviously, you still clap for the NHS, but you gotta clap for the creators.
No, for real.
Because the shifts that are being put in to create the content that we see, unmatched.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's at a deficit where people don't get paid what they should be getting paid. But in terms of your question, which was potentially looking into a different industry, I'm very much open to that. So like I said, my background stems in creativity, but it's also rooted in like psychology, health and well-being, writing and creative writing. And these are all skills that are multidisciplinary. It doesn't just mean that I can only work in one sector.
Yeah.
My skills can be utilized in like digital media. So say if I wanted to produce brochures or online assets, that's also a side of the job that I could do. Or with my travel stuff, I can be planning itineraries for families, finding my niche basically. And just trying to get my money up in different avenues. I feel like when you're kind of a jack of all trades, you also want to be a master of those.
Let's talk about that, because it's so hard to actually master everything.
It is.
Sometimes you really have to focus on maybe one or two things.
Yeah.
As much as you want to be able to do everything, it's just one person.
Exactly. And I think, to be honest, guys, T and I are the two T's in a pod.
Literally.
Because the amount of work that we do outside of our actual 9-to-5 jobs,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
To sustain your own business on the side, your own platform, to give into that platform, to put enough time and put enough work into it. It requires a lot of out of hours planning.
Do you feel like you ever put enough into it? Because I feel like I don't. And it really stresses me out, because do you have the same thing where you're up at night and you just randomly have an
100%.
idea? It's so annoying. 100%. It's like when you're trying to build your own business and build your own brand, your brain doesn't switch off.
No.
And I feel like that is the one advantage of a 9-to-5. Like, for me anyway, once I've logged out, that's it. I don't really have to think about work at all anymore. But now that I'm trying to, you know, grow my business, create my personal brand, it's a lot. Like, my brain is consistently ticking.
Always ticking. And even when you're at your job, I know I've had this conversation with T many times, but when you're at your job, you're almost so frustrated at the fact that you can't be working your own stuff during the working day. If I'm going to learn, it has to be on company time.
It's so annoying because I just feel like sometimes, you know, like, I love to be productive. And sometimes I just feel like my 9 to 5 is not allowing me to be as productive for my personal development.
Could not agree more.
And it's like such a difficult balance.
It is, and trying to strike that balance when you are quite overworked and tired from going into the office, you know, many days a week, traveling back on the Elizabeth line.
Yeah, even the commute, like when I'm walking to work, I just feel like a robot. I'm walking across London Bridge and there's probably 50,000 people, if not more, doing the same exact journey as me, and we're just all like
literally,
like what type of life is that?
It's not a type of life, which is why you have to keep, you know, the things that mean a lot to you, don't lose them in the kind of the 9 to 5 routine. Hold on to those things and try and put time into what means a lot to you.
You actually have to.
It's difficult, but you make it work because your passion always comes through.
Yeah. And I feel like that's how you know it's your passion. If you can continuously put work in, even when you're overworked, I feel like that's when you know.
100%. That is for you.
Yeah.
And it's like with us as well. We have so much going on during the workday, but
chill, don't even get into it.
we still try and make time to reach out to people, create content, stay on top of putting actual content out, and getting the job done. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, mate.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're saying that you want like more money.
Yeah.
And what is it that you want the money for? Like, what are your financial goals for, like, let's say the next 0 to 5 years?
So I would like to become a homeowner, like my girl here, who did it before 30.
Yeah, age 23, like, quite there.
Period. And the way that I'll be able to do that is obviously by assuming a higher paid job that reflects the level of work that I bring.
Yeah, your skill set. Yeah.
That reflects my skill set. And because I'm bringing a lot of skills to the table, I just need a pay that's reflective of that. And then based on that pay, I should hopefully be eligible to actually buy a home if I can.
Yeah, because what some people don't know about buying a home is that it is all well when you have the deposit, but they also look at your salary as well. So I would say if you're moving out, this is for London, my property was 245,000, right? So my salary at the time was 45 or 46,000. So they look at it and you have to have like 5 times your salary plus your deposit, and that basically tells you what you can afford. Some people will actually give you 5.5 times your salary, but there's no point in going to the max, because then, like, where's the money for you to save? Like, you always want to just buy a property that you can definitely manage. So yeah, the salary is definitely important. It's as important as the deposit, I would say.
It is, because a lot of, you know, the money lenders and mortgage people won't even take your application seriously if you can't show for having, you know, the right salary to be able to pay your mortgages back. So for me, I need that job to hit the threshold so I can be then I can start to look at properties and things.
Yeah, I agree. It's exciting. I can't wait to look like with you.
No,
I'm on that move all the time.
Super.
I just love it. But yeah, so what's another one of your financial goals?
So another one of my financial goals, I want to be financially free and eventually work for myself.
Okay.
I want to be able to work remotely, whether that's in this country, in another country. I just want to have that.
Yeah, because Tanya travels. She's literally barely in the country.
I try my best. I am just a girl. But I would like to, you know, like, we're young, we should be venturing out to places, having enough money for experiences. So I just want to be in an environment where I can work for myself, manage my money how I want to, and build from there, really.
So when you say you want to work for yourself, do you think it's just mostly the travel that you're going to focus on, or do you still want to do the like creative side as well? Yeah,
I still want to do the creative side. I would love to have an agent for my like writing that I do as well for TV. That's actually my goal. I do want to write for TV.
Period.
But again, like, you need an agent in these instances, and I need to actually get to writing, which does help. I can't submit work that hasn't been done.
Yeah.
So I would just like to have that financial freedom. So when I am working remotely, I'm managing my time better. So I have time to do the things that I actually want to do. And hopefully in that way, I can start things in a freelance capacity with my writing, which will generate money in one way. Then I'll always have my photography and videography side too, which hopefully, you know, I can expand my client base and get, you know, generate more money from that. And then with my travel agency side, again, for me, it's just about finding my niche and then building a platform so people know to come to me for all things travel.
Yeah.
Website coming soon.
No, honestly, I think, honestly, knowing you, I think the travel thing makes so much sense. Because you literally are always on holiday, and you seem to have amazing times on holiday as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people just be going out the country and it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're just there. I'm not seeing no action, but you be out and about, and I love that. And I just feel like, obviously, when you're doing content creation, that links in with now photography and videography.
It does.
So it all interlinks together, and
does.
I really just hope that it takes off. Like, I hope that you're able to find the time this year, especially to just, you know, like really push and look in with that.
Thank you, sis. Yeah.
You're welcome, sis. But yeah, let's go back to the home ownership now.
Yes.
So what exactly are you doing right now to save for a house or your house deposit?
Yeah, so what I'm doing to save for my house deposit is trying to cut down some of my spending by creating a budget, which I obviously did with Community Touch.
We'll go into that in a
which
minute.
we'll go into. But what I'm kind of doing now to save up for my deposit is allocating a set fund that goes into my savings account, and then a set fund that also goes into my ISA, which will contribute towards the deposit, I hope.
It will. So it's a lifetime ISA you're talking about. Yeah. So for any of you who don't know, a lifetime ISA is an individual savings account, but it's also a tax-free savings account, and you can save up to £4,000 each tax year. And for every £4,000 that you save, the government will give you a £1,000 bonus. To be honest, you'll get a 25% bonus all the time, but I always just reference 4,000 and 1,000 because I really encourage people to max out their lifetime ISA
every single time.
Yeah, if you want to buy a home, it just makes sense. There are a few terms and conditions, so you can just Google like the terms and conditions of ISAs. I think the maximum property price is like 450,000.
Yeah.
And you can't buy a home within a year of opening your ISA. You've got to wait like at least over 12 months. And you also cannot withdraw money, otherwise you'll get a penalty. And the penalty is 25%, but it's not just the bonus that you're going to lose. Like, you will actually lose some of your savings. So I always encourage people, only put money into your lifetime ISA that you can actually afford to put and that you don't need access to at all.
100%.
But honestly, I think it's such a great scheme. In
It
this government, I can cuss day and night. I think that is a very good thing that they're doing.
I think so. And also, I think we were actually kind of the last Help to Buy year.
Yeah, for Help to Buy ISA.
For Help to Buy ISAs, yeah. So they cut it off for us. So,
but lifetime's better than Help to Buy anyway.
It is. Yeah. And I think, like T says, the 25% that the government gives you, that extra £1,000, you've got to see it as free money.
It is free money.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Give me the next one, please.
Honestly. So yeah, it's just been about creating a balance every month that I know is dedicated to my savings for the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to ask you, did you, well, I already know, but before Community Touch helped you with like your finances and everything, did you think that it was going to be realistic for you to become a homeowner before the age of 30?
Hell no! Hell no!
Nah.
Honestly, if I wasn't living at home, I'd be on the street. I'd be on the street living off a satsuma a day, because...
Did you have a budget before or not? So you were just living on vibes?
Okay. What is budget? I was just coming out here, I was getting my paycheck. I thought, you know what, this is one of my first jobs. In my first ever job, I was just so excited to be in a job that I didn't even take my own lunch to work. Who is she? I was spending
and that city £10 a day minimum.
Spitalfields Market. Shout out, but same time, shout down, because
it's expensive.
It's really expensive. So I was spending at least £10 a day.
Yeah.
Which now I take my humble Tupperware.
Yeah. And
my food from home's even better. But no, before Community Touch, I didn't have a sense of budgeting, and I didn't know how I could even save pockets of money or how to best utilize them. So I was saving a lot. So even before, I didn't quite understand how ISIS actually worked, and that I was getting an extra £1,000 from the government.
A lot of people don't. And do you know the best thing about having a budget is you now tell your money where to go rather than your money just disappearing.
100%.
And I think that is, once people clock that, I think it's just so much easier going forward from there. Like, that's literally the first step. Because when Tanya first came to me, she said, I can't save any money. I said, bet. And how much did you manage to save? It was like £7,000.
Like £7,000, and
yeah.
we've been
in a year.
In a year.
Yeah.
And considering I literally went from like never having any money to save, with Community Touch, I was able to see where all my money was going. And I'm sure we'll touch on this shortly, but with the kind of itemized breakdown, I was seeing just how much I was spending for all my expenditure. So transport, like my petrol, shopping, daily groceries, and having like a more precise budget just allowed me to manage my money better.
Yeah.
Which before I wasn't doing.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you're not managing your money, unfortunately your money is just going to go because you have no clue of where your money is going. You're just spending frivolously.
Yeah.
And that's going to have implications because you're thinking, oh, I just got paid like 2 weeks ago, where's all my money gone?
Exactly.
But you spent it on this other stuff, but you haven't even realised it. But it's because you're not taking control of your money, you're just letting your cards control you. And that's the worst thing that you can do. So, and I'm happy because I can tell that, you know, you're sticking to your budget.
100%.
And even if you've had to make changes to the initial budget, you now always have that life skill.
Exactly. And I think it's one thing that one of the many things that I learned from Community Touch was just having like my guilt-free spending. So
yeah, talk about that.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So basically, once you've kind of done the itemized breakdown into where your money's going, so you can like clearly see, okay, I'm paying this out for insurance, I'm paying this out for my groceries.
This is making me cry because like I don't even have to say it.
No,
like,
but it's so true. Like, this is money management 101,
yeah.
305. But it was so good to see that actually I do have a pocket of money that is just for me.
Yeah.
And before, like, there was literally 2 weeks ago, me like, yeah, like, you've got money.
Yeah,
and I thought,
you work hard. You need to enjoy the money that you're working hard for.
And that's literally what I say all the time. It's like, you know, we are working, we'll sometimes work in the jobs that we don't particularly like, but it's a means to an end, and you still have to live your life and you still got to enjoy.
Yeah.
And for me, that's in travel. So, you know, like, I won't spend £1,000 on a bag, but I sure as hell will spend £1,000 on the trip.
Yeah.
You know, it's a life enriching experience. So that's my personal preference anyway. But in terms of the guilt-free spending, it was like, wow, I can actually give myself £300 a month and just tap away and get waffles, go out, you know, whatever that looks like for me, I can spend that.
Exactly. One thing that I say about budgeting, you have to include absolutely everything on your budget. So in my budget, I have my budget for my hair and my budget for my nails every month. My guilt-free spending is after I've taken the hair, the bills, the nails, the shopping, all of the essentials. That guilt-free spending is if I want to go, like we went to brunch today.
Yeah. If
I want to go get a brunch, I can go get a brunch with my guilt-free spending money.
100%.
And I always encourage my clients to have like a really good amount of guilt-free spending because I'm sorry, but it's not us that's going to be working 30, 40 hours a week to then not have any money to spend.
Not have any money? Please.
Yeah.
Please.
One of my clients the other day, I gave him a guilt-free spending amount of £500 and he was able to still save like so much money.
That's so good.
Yeah, and he said, I don't need that. I was like, yeah, you do. Like, you got a girlfriend, you take the girlfriend out on dates.
100%.
Yeah, you're trying to save for a house, like, you want to enjoy your life. We live in London, you're going to spend £500 a month. Because when I look at my spending, my guilt-free spending amount is like £350. But then once I add on like £100 for my hair, £50 for my nails, that is the £500.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It all adds up. But I think it's nice that even after all your bills, you can see that there is still a living balance. Like, that is money for you to just enjoy your life with, whatever that looks like for you. And
on the, like, mentally, it just makes it feel more freeing.
It does. And, you know, we have lives outside work. We've got families, we've got ambitions, we've got goals. Whatever that looks like for you, whether it means saving up for something that you've wanted for a long time or splurging, you can go for it.
You can go
because
for it.
it's guilt-free.
Yeah.
Her.
And then in terms of the travel, so obviously Tanya loves to travel a lot. I think with all my clients, I always put holiday money anyway.
Yes.
Because most people are going to go on holiday like maybe once a year. But with you, obviously, we increased that travel amount because it's simply something that is a non-negotiable for you.
100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't travel unless... A lot of my travel is actually with my family, which I'm very grateful for. And it means, you know, if there are quite a few of us going, we can cut down costs in, like, rooms and things.
Yeah.
The deals are better. And, honestly, all the holiday deals that we have are cheap and reasonable because we've planned them properly and we've planned them in advance and we've locked in good prices. So for me personally, even if I can't afford the accommodation straight away, I'll look into accommodation that's free cancellation.
Yeah.
So today, tomorrow, I'm locking it in at that price. Later down the line, it's going to get more expensive, but maybe there's a last minute deal that chops in. I got free cancellation and then I can use the cheaper fare.
Yeah.
So it's all about kind of being smart with your money. And booking in advance where you can, but having the savings ready to be able to book in advance. Because when you book in advance, you're saving so much more than you would do further down the line. So yeah, it's just about being smart, saving, being proactive.
We've been doing the one-to-ones. We did the one-to-ones for like a year.
Yeah.
So
it's like
going from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, how do you feel about money now? Like, how's your relationship? And not just with your budget, but like even with credit and understanding ISAs and just more of the financial services industry, like how do you feel?
Just so much better. Like now I actually understand what credit cards are for. Like before I had no idea. I thought debit cards were the only thing, but actually for a lot of my purchases now, I just use my credit card.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for things like concert tickets, holidays, all of that is on my credit card to build my credit score, which again, I didn't know what that was. This company, Experian, would email me and ask about a credit score. I'd be like, huh? Huh? Like, I wouldn't know what that means. But now I'm like, it's great to have the credit card, pay the credit card back and build on that credit, because all of this contributes towards your finances in the future, and the mortgages and the finances are looking at your profile. It all contributes towards that. And I had no idea how that worked before. Literally.
I'm just so happy that you do now.
No, honestly.
And the best thing about credit cards as well, especially if you get a 0%, this is the one that I always
You love this one.
But let's say with wireless, for example, the tickets dropped randomly. My savings is untouchable, so I'm not going into my savings for nothing. So I just put it on my credit cards, and it's 0% for I think 18 months. So that means I could pay it off anytime within 18 months. So I'm just repaying like what, £35 a month. And it just makes sense because that's just another way to still have the things that you want, but in a manageable way for your monthly budget. Yeah.
And to think like it just takes the pressure off of paying like a monthly credit card statement if that's not something that you can do straight away. Yeah,
because on the 0%, you just have to make sure that you pay the minimum, and then just make sure that by the end of the 0% period, that's when you've actually paid off the actual remaining.
Yeah.
Or you could just, what I tend to do is just split it into monthly payments until,
which is good.
Yeah, so like wireless is in July, so I've just split it into monthly payments until July, so that by the time I've gone to wireless, it's all paid off.
Yeah.
But you know, there's so many ways to manage your money. And you just have to think what's more effective for you, what makes sense for you and your situation. Some people love to use credit cards for points. So did you get the Avios credit card?
I did. So I got the British Airways Amex card, and I've actually been able to use my companion voucher this year. So just
great.
In the grand scheme of things, like the companion voucher when you're using it for 2 people, I don't think it's that amazing.
Yeah.
But what it is amazing for is saving you like £200 on what you would have paid for your luggage.
Okay.
So basically, our luggage is free.
Yeah, just talk about the Avios one because I haven't really looked into it.
So it's really good. So basically, there'll be certain partners like Booking.com or like Deliveroo. If you use your card, you get a certain level of points. So you might have like 6 Avios, 7 Avios, or even 100 Avios to £1. So when you start to accrue those points, you can use the points to reduce your airfare.
Okay.
So like say if you're going to Jamaica or wherever.
Yeah, my hometown, baby.
Hometown. You could use some of the points to reduce your overall fare, which is saving you money.
Yeah. So
you're using this card for all your general spending anyway. You might as well be benefiting from it when you're actually coming to book a flight.
I'm definitely going to get a rewards credit card. So I just applied for a credit card, I think last month. It was another 0% one.
Okay,
No, I just always need that. It's just
0%.
It's just standard in my financial thing. As soon as 1 0% comes to an end, I just order a new one. But I am gonna wait a few months just so I'm not like applying for too many hard credit checks at once.
Yeah.
So and then I'm gonna get some sort of flights one, I think.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like you, chill. I'm
So
trying to be
like, what you talking about? You got a whole house. There's holiday at home.
No, do you know what? Having your own space, it literally does feel like peace.
It's insane.
It is. It's just so quiet. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. And
but it's just been such a beautiful thing to see you kind of like build your house into your little home, and like the whole process of even choosing the house, coming to view it, and then populating it with all your stuff and just making it your own.
Yeah, I
like,
love it.
This was just a room before. This wasn't even here.
But no, anyways, thank you so much for coming today. It's been lovely to have a conversation with you.
You too, girl. You too.
Yeah, do you want to shout out any of your social media?
Oh yeah. Yeah, rule number 1, shout your stuff out.
Yes.
So you can reach me at tbm.films on Instagram. And then I'll be launching my travel agent platform soon. So I will link that on my TBM Films page.
I'll also put it in the description so that anytime someone's watching it, they can look out, see if you started posting on your travel page. So yeah, thanks honey.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, look at the episode. Bye.